We are finally here in week 4. We're almost a quarter of the way through the season. It's going by really fast. I hope all your teams are doing well. But these are going to be my predictions for the week 4 slate. I don't do Thursday night games. The Lions did win that game. They actually had a massive win against the Packers, so good for them. But I'm going to be predicting every game other than that. I just went 10-5 last week. It was my best week to date. So I'm 25-20 on the season. So pretty good. I was 500. I'm hoping to just build upon that. As the earlier weeks are harder to predict, as you don't know how the teams, how good each team is. So I'm excited to get going. Hopefully build that record a little bit. We're going to be starting with a huge game. I don't know what time this is. It shouldn't be a 1 o'clock game. I'm hoping this is like a 4 o'clock. But we got Dolphins visiting the Bills in Buffalo. I'm going to go with the Bills. My gut tells me the Dolphins. They just had a huge win, but it was against the Broncos. I just think this is going to be the best defense they've seen all year. I don't think you're scoring 70 on the Bills. I don't think they have Von Miller back yet, but it's still a phenomenal second or defense. I know Dolphins are getting Jalen Waddle back. I just think the Bills are going to win this one. I think it's going to be close. It's going to be coin flip. I did pick the Dolphins to win the AFC East this season. I think they split with the Bills. They play the Bills really good each year, really tough. I think they won in Buffalo last year for the snow game. I don't remember, but I'm going to go with the Bills for this one. Ravens taking on the Browns in Cleveland. I'm going to go with the home team again. I have been watching a lot of Ravens this season, and I'm not impressed with their offense. Their passing game is really poor. It kind of just seems like if Zay Flowers isn't open underneath, Lamar Jackson just takes off. And that didn't work against the Colts, and it's certainly not going to work against the Browns. I also know there's a lot of injuries on the Ravens sideline. Like, they got a lot of guys out, which is an excuse, but you don't get wins with excuses. So, like, I'm sorry it's so unlucky, but it's a sport. And there's nothing they could do about it. Cleveland's defense looks great. I just think it's going to be too much for the Ravens, so I'm going to go with the Browns on this one. Steelers visiting the Houston Texans. I'm going to go with the Steelers here. I know C.J. Stroud's been great for a rookie, but I just think the Steelers defense is too much for a rookie, especially with the Texans O-line. I like T.J. Watt's going to feast on. He's going to be under pressure all game. The Steelers offense still does not look good. I still don't think it's that good. I'm seeing another 8, 9, 10 win season from the Steelers. I don't know. I mean, it's not the Texans, they only have 1 win. They're not the best team. I actually thought they were going to be worse than this. But nonetheless, they still only have 1 win, and I don't see them getting another one on Sunday. Bengals visiting Tennessee. I'm going to go with the Bengals on this one. Tennessee's awful. The Bengals have looked bad. They just got their first win on Monday, though it wasn't pretty. They usually start slow. I think Joe Burrow, I think it showed he was like 1-7 in weeks 1 to 2 in his career, which is pretty awful. But I predicted they'd start slow. I think they're going to ramp it up. They just got too much talent to lose to the Titans. It can't happen. Way too talented, so I'm going to go with the Bengals. Raiders taking on the Chargers in LA, and I am just going to go with the Chargers. Raiders are bad. Raiders are really bad. Jimmy Garoppolo is severely average like we knew he was. Chargers are more talented, although they did lose Mike Williams for the season. But I just think there's not somebody on this Raiders secondary that's going to stop them. They're going to put up 30-some points, and they're not going to be able to keep up. Devontae Adams will probably get 150 receiving yards, and they'll still lose by 2 touchdowns. But I'm going to go with the Chargers. Jets Chiefs. I hate this one. Feels like a freebie. Jets ain't winning as long as they're throwing Zach Wilson out there, and that offensive line is putrid. You could have Tom Brady back there, and he's going to be. I mean, he would probably have the ball out really quick, but the offensive line for the Jets is terrible. They can't run the ball. It's not like if you put Zach Wilson on the Eagles, you could probably just hand the ball off to a victory. You can't do that in New York. Chiefs are too good. Sunday night game, I believe, so this one will be prime time, which is unfortunate for Zach Wilson that he's in all these prime time games. Sorry about that, but I'm going to go with the Chiefs. Falcons Jags in London, Jaguars territory. I'm going to go with the Jags here. The Falcons offense was awful last week. They only scored 6 points on the Lions, although the Lions are legit. Their defense ain't that great, I guess. I mean, it's still, the Falcons aren't the best team. They're still pretty good. They're better than I thought they'd be. But the Jags, I think they bounced back. They had a horrible loss against the Texans last week in London. They've been there before. The Falcons, I don't think Ritter has. I actually do think that it was that 2 years ago the Falcons visit. I think Kyle Pitts' only touchdown his rookie season was in London. Anyway, I'm going to go with the Jags on this one. Rams at the Colts. I'm gonna go with the Rams. I think they're a better team. I think Anthony Richardson, he's practicing. I don't think they've announced him as a starter, but if he's healthy, he's gonna be starting. I don't know. I just think the Rams are better. I don't think the Rams are that bad. They just lost a nail biter in Cincinnati. Cincinnati's a better team than the Colts are. I'm gonna go with the Rams here. I don't think either team's that great, but I do think the Rams pull it out. They have a better coach, better team. So the Rams are gonna win this one. Broncos, Bears, the toilet bowl. I can't wait for this one. This should be the worst game of the season. I saw somebody said it should be flexed to Wednesday at 5 a.m. or 3 a.m. or whatever. This is gonna be terrible. It shouldn't even be nationally televised. I'm gonna go with the Broncos though. I hope the Bears win. The meme's gonna be incredible. I hope it's a tie. I can't predict tie. I can. I'm gonna go with the tie here. Actually, I want to make my record better, so I'm gonna go with the Broncos. But I'm hoping this is a tie. If there's one game I got wrong, I hope it's this one. I hope it's a tie. I don't care who wins. Give me the Broncos. Patriots at Dallas. I'm gonna go with Dallas. I think they have a good bounce back game. The Patriots, yes, they did beat the Jets, but their offense looked terrible. This Patriots defense is legit. I've been saying that as an Eagles fan. I watched that week one. That defense is good. Bill Belichick's still the number one defensive coordinator in the league. Dallas just lost to the Cardinals. I still think Dallas wins it, though. If it was in Foxborough, I'd probably have the Patriots winning. I just think the Patriots or Cowboys are going to win it. Their offense, they're so talented on offense. They did have a lot of injuries against the Cardinals. They had a couple offensive linemen in Tyron Smith and Zach Martin out, I believe. I just think the Cowboys are going to win that one. Vikings at the Panthers. I'm going to go with the Vikings here. I think they finally win their first game. I think Carolina continues their losing streak and starts the season 0-4. I don't know if Andy Dalton's playing or Bryce Young. It doesn't matter to me. Regardless, I'm going to go with the Vikings on this one. I just think they get their first win. Washington at the Eagles. I will be at this game, hoping for a blowout, but I don't want to be biased here. It's just the Eagles front five, really, because linebackers aren't that great. Their defensive line is so good, and the Washington offensive line isn't. I think I was about to call him Ritter. Sam Howell is the most sacked quarterback in the league right now. He just gave up like 9 sacks against Buffalo. I just don't think they're going to be able to move the ball. They're not going to be able to run the ball. Eagles have the number one rushing defense, and it's going to make them pass, and they're just going to be able to pass rush. It's going to be too much. Washington's team is good. Like, I know they lost to Buffalo. They got blown out. Buffalo's way better than them, but this Washington roster is not as bad as people think it is. They've got a pretty solid defense. Their defensive front, they've invested a lot of high draft picks in that defensive front. They've got decent receivers. Eagles is too talented, and it's in Philly. Tampa at the Saints. I'm going to go with Tampa just because I think Jameis Winston is starting. Tampa's a pretty good team. I know they got beat up a little bit by the Eagles, but Eagles are a good team. Tampa's still 2-1. I think they continue to go 3-1. If Derek Carr was playing, I think I'd go with the Saints, as they'd be 3-0, but I just think Tampa's a better team, and they're healthier. All right, the Cardinals going on into San Fran. I'm going to go with the 49ers. Yeah, I'm not going to say much. Seattle Giants. I'm going to go. I think the Giants are favored, actually, which I'm shocked at that. Seahawks defense is pretty bad. Although you guys, I did do a poll. Should I start the Seahawks defense? And you guys said yes, so I'm starting them in fantasy. I'm going to go with the Seahawks. I just think the Giants are really bad. They're one debacle, like blown loss against the Cardinals from being 0-3. This is going to be the Monday night game. I don't know. I just think Seattle's better. Like Seattle's a lot better than the Giants. The Giants aren't good. But I don't know. I mean, it's any given Sunday, Monday, or Thursday, anybody could win. Um, I think it's going to be close. Like, I think it'll be a field goal game, but I just see the Seahawks pulling this one out. But that's going to wrap it up for my Week 4 predictions. Once again, can't wait for this weekend slate. Let me know what you disagree with down below in the comments, and I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.